Okay, so there's this video making the rounds, and it's making a pretty huge claim that Italy, under Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, just kicked off a massive change in European politics. The argument is that we're watching the continent's power map get redrawn right in front of us. So let's get into it and unpack what this video is actually saying.
Yeah, and they're not pulling any punches with their language. The video calls what Italy just did a geopolitical earthquake on Europe's southern flank. I mean, that's a really strong claim. So what on earth happened to get a label like that?
And that's really the big question here, isn't it? We're going to break down exactly what Italy did, look at the evidence the video uses to back up its claim, and then explore this bigger theory it's pushing about a whole new political landscape taking shape in Europe.
All right, first up, Italy's military deployment. According to this video, their whole argument really boils down to one single decision, a military and political one. And they're clear. This isn't just talk. We're talking about real, concrete action, actual hardware being moved.
So here's what happened. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni went on national radio and announced that Italy is sending air defense systems to countries in the Gulf. The video points to this as a direct, practical response to all the missile and drone strikes happening in the region.
And we're not talking about small stuff here. The video calls this hard military capabilities. Think advanced missile systems, radar, sophisticated air defense tech, the whole package. On top of that, the Italian parliament gave it the green light and also said, yep, our bases are still open for U.S. logistics. That's a key detail.
Now, to put this in perspective, the video points out that Italy isn't just starting from zero. They've already got about 2,000 troops in the region. So this new deployment is really about beefing up an already significant presence. This is where it gets interesting. The video really zeroes in on the words Meloni used to justify this. She talked all about national interests, protecting Italian citizens, making sure their energy supply is safe. But what the video finds really significant is what she didn't say, not a peep about the rules-based order or globalism. And to them, that silence is deafening.
Okay, so that focus on language is the perfect setup for the video's main point. It's all about contrasting Meloni's actions with the response from another major European player, the UK's Keir Starmer. And honestly, this comparison is the absolute core of their entire argument.
So the way the video sets it up, it's like a tale of two completely different approaches. You've got Meloni's Italy, which they paint as being all about action, a war-fighting posture, sending hardware to protect people and energy. And then you've got Starmer's UK, which they describe as cautious, more focused on PR management, refusing to let the US use their bases for strikes. To really hammer this home, the video uses a direct quote to sum up how it sees Meloni's thinking. It says, "One leader is looking at tens of thousands of her citizens saying, 'These are my peeps and I'm going to protect them.' So the whole idea is that it's about a deep, personal sense of national duty." And then for Starmer, they have a completely different quote. It says, "The other is looking at the media and mosques and promises not to offend." So the allegation here is pretty clear. His decisions aren't about national interest, but about managing public opinion and avoiding any kind of backlash at home.
So what does this all mean, according to the video? Well, these aren't just two different strategies. They're supposedly signs of a much, much deeper ideological divide. A split that, the video claims, is literally redrawing the political map of Europe as we speak.
And to describe this new ideology they see emerging, the video actually coins a new term, civilizational realism. The idea here is that it's a foreign policy not based on some abstract idea of global rules, but on the very real, tangible protection of a specific civilization. We're talking its people, its resources, its very identity. Okay. This table really lays out the video's whole grand theory. It argues Europe is being spiritually redrawn. On one side, you have the old axis, what they call managerial globalism, centered around Brussels and London. And on the other side, there's this new axis of civilizational populism. And get this, they see this new alliance forming between a potential Trump-led America, Israel, and, you guessed it, Meloni's Italy. All right, so if we take the video's argument at face value, if this shift is actually happening, what's next? What does this mean for the future? The last part of the analysis gets into the consequences, the predictions for who holds the power in Europe and the West. And the video's bottom line is pretty stark. They're not saying this might happen or it's going to happen. The claim is that the change has already happened, that the center of gravity in Europe has shifted, period. It's not where we thought it was anymore. And here are the specific predictions the video lays out.
First, an Italy that's willing to act like this simply can't be ignored anymore. Second, they argue Washington will absolutely remember who showed up when things got tough. And third, and this is a big one, nations that chose to be cautious, like the video says Britain and Spain did, will they risk being worked around, bypassed, basically forgotten?
So in the end, the video leaves us with this really provocative question. Who will be remembered and who will be forgotten? It frames this whole situation as a major turning point in history, where the decisions being made right now will decide who leads and who gets left behind. A pretty powerful idea that history is watching and will be the final judge.